We love talking football, of course, here in the Sportsocracy, and the season is right around the corner. So we are going to start our best worst-case scenarios. What am I looking for here? Series. That's the word I was looking for. We're going to go division by division every day, give you the best worst-case scenarios for each and every team in the NFL. And we'll start out with the NFC South. And start out at the top of the NFC South.
You can hit that fucking button one more time.
With the reigning and defending world champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
Best case scenario, it's what? 22-0. Let's do this thing. Let's get undefeated season. Tom Brady wins it all because they're just that damn good.
Your best case scenario, playoff Tommy does it again.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't think that's even debatable.
Nope.
They did seem to find something in the playoffs. I cannot help but caution Buccaneers fans that keep talking about, we're going to go undefeated. We're the best team in it. Just remember, you weren't that until the playoffs.
Yeah.
You almost got put out of the playoffs by the Washington football team.
Yeah.
Yes.
So don't act like this is, we can just show up, throw a ball out there, win Super Bowl. That's not exactly how this is going to go. And now, granted, I'm biased because I'm next to tons of fun here every day, and I know he believes that, whether he's willing to admit it or not.
We got Tom Brady, and I will throw him out there every day of the week and just rely on Tom Brady to carry this team to another title. They have done everything possible to set him up for another Super Bowl ring.
They certainly have.
And it's hard for, I mean, sure, are there other teams in the same league as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Absolutely, but they're at the
About
top.
5 of them.
Yeah, but they're at the top of the list with every other team in the league. Plus, the schedule is not that bad. There's a lot
Of course
winnable.
it's not. Tom Brady's never had a difficult schedule in the 29 years he's been in the fucking league.
A lot of winnable games on that schedule. Everybody's back. We all have, regurgitated the stat of 22 starters from the Super Bowl, all back with this team. I mean, the biggest weakness for the team, I mean, to me, it's kind of close. It's kind of close between the secondary and the running backs.
It's secondary. It's not close to me.
Yeah.
That's what would scare me if I were a Buccaneers fan. What would scare me is you look at, name me the other best teams in the NFC.
Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers. Keep going.
LA Rams.
Matt Stafford.
Yeah. San Francisco 49ers.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
What do you,
Every team that's good in the
with this?
NFC has a really good quarterback.
Wait, did you just say Jimmy Garoppolo was really good?
Garoppolo was really good.
Played one full season in his career, wound up in Super Bowl. Discredit me, I dare you.
I'm not trying to
Now he lives hurt.
We think
but-
it's a departure from what you usually say about Jimmy. That's why we're confused.
Because he's hurt all the time. And my thing is range of outcomes. At the end of the day, if you told me Jimmy Garoppolo plays 16 games, they're the third best team in the NFC, and I don't even think it's debatable.
Yep.
I think Washington is one of the best teams in the NFC as well.
All right, so you struggled with Washington last year.
Yeah.
Now they have Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. Yeah, almost beat
They have
you
a
with
legitimate quarterback.
Taylor Heineken or Tyler Heineke or whatever his name is.
64-calorie Heineken.
Yeah, I like him. I like him, though. Fitzpatrick, I think, will have a better year. We're talking about Tampa Bay. The thing is with Tampa Bay is they did a lot. I didn't think they were going to be able to bring back every single person. It surprised me. I know we've talked about who they brought back, all these things, all these stats. It was just surprising they were able to bring back everybody. I think they're just going to live and die, I believe, with Tom Brady.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
That's what this is all built around.
Yeah.
This was all built around, let's get a quarterback who's not going to fuck us in the ass like Jameis Winston did with his 30 interceptions and his 10 fumbles or whatever. I think it was 8 fumbles, something like that. He had 38 turnovers total in his last season in Tampa Bay. The whole idea was, let's go get the guy who can be the guy, who can be the leader of this team, and let's see what we can do. They went out and got Tom Brady, and it was all over but the crying for me. And there were struggles last year. I said many times throughout the season that They didn't look like a championship team at sometimes, and then they would go out and beat the Green Bay Packers. What was it, 38-10 or whatever it was?
And you're gonna see that.
Yeah.
I got news for you. All right, so we're talking best worst case scenario. Best case scenario for Tampa Bay is they go 14-3. Best case.
Yeah.
Stop with the undefeated shit. Stop with they're going to go 16-1. You have a 44-year-old freaking quarterback. Okay? And look, I've said that for a couple years. Eventually, I'm going to be right.
You're right.
If I keep doing it, I will be right eventually.
Yeah.
I think he'll quit.
The falling off the cliff of Tom Brady is somewhere in the future.
I think Tom will quit by then.
I don't think Tom will quit until he has photographic evidence of I'm not as good as I used to be. And I'll be honest with you, I think that comes this year. Now, let me preface that with I don't think he has to be. He can be Kansas City last year with Joe Montana, and this is still probably the Super Bowl favorite.
Yep.
I don't think it's as overwhelming as everybody else seems to.
Yeah.
But they are still the favorite to go into this season as Super Bowl champion. But if you said they had to do something before the season started, what would it be? And I want to do this with all 4 teams.
Do something before the season started.
Because there's something I would like to see. There's something I would like to see every team in this division do.
Okay.
Tampa Bay's is the only one that does not involve bringing somebody from the outside.
Okay.
It's re-sign Chris Godwin. They have a week from today to re-sign Chris Godwin. You do not want that hanging over this team.
Yeah.
You've made it very clear. The salary cap is made up monopoly money.
Yeah.
So just fix it. Just go get him done. That gives Kyle, because Kyle Trask is obviously going to get a shot to be the next quarterback of this team. Just get it done. You don't want to have any reason for anything to be a talking point.
Right.
And do I think it would be? No, not necessarily. But it's the most likely to be a talking point of anything that they have hanging out there.
I would say the one move I would like them to see before the season starts, if possible, is maybe try to swing some kind of deal with New England to get Stephon Gilmore.
Well, that's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
He's not a scheme fit, first of all, because you're not going to spend that much money for the way Todd Bowles plays defense.
Right.
Now, is there a guy out there that you could go get? Yeah. Brian Poole, a guy that played loosely this system with the Jets, who I still am just dumbfounded is not on a team. Maybe I'm biased, but he was the best corner on that team for years. He's still not signed. That blows my mind.
What about someone like Richard Sherman? Does he fit the scheme?
Loosely, yeah. And we'll get to. I'm going to address Richard Sherman before this is all said and done.
Okay.
I don't necessarily.
Stay tuned.
I don't think he fits in Tampa.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to do that. I think you have young guys. I would be more of a. Let's see. If I was trying to think of if I was going to go get a guy, which I'm not.
Right.
Opining that they should.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you can live with what you have because corner is just not that important. I've always laughed as somebody that watched Todd Bowles for so many years. I laugh at hearing how important corner is to Todd Bowles. Name me a great corner that's ever played for him, not named Patrick Peterson.
Right.
I'll wait.
Yeah.
The second best one is probably Carlton Davis. That might be the second best corner that's ever played for Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
It sure as hell wasn't anybody played for him with the Jets.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. That's guaranteed.
So I just don't think it's that important.
Right.
If I was saying, yes, you need to do one thing before the season starts, that you need to address the Chris Godwin thing and just keep that from even possibly being a problem.
Right. Lock him up long term.
And I think a lot of what Tampa Bay has, they do have some older guys. You got to hope that these guys stay healthy. You got to hope that the Ndamukong Suhs and the Gronkowskis and Tom Brady stay healthy. You got to figure out, game to game, which running back you're going to go with. I think that sometimes going with a hot hand can lead to some bad beginnings of game.
It's Ronald Jones.
Yeah.
It's Ronald Jones, and it's not even close. There's not a hot hand scenario here. Leonard Fournette can pop on short little runs and maybe get into the end zone once every other week or every 3 weeks or something like that. But for the most part, Ronald Jones is the workhorse running back.
Right.
See, I don't think there's a thing that we can do to fix the running back issue.
Yeah,
like, that's the weakest part of the offense. Right. We don't
Again,
have to.
think about every running back that's ever played with Tom Brady. The best one's Corey Dillon. Argue with me, I dare you.
There's no
I
doubt
watched him in
about
my division for 20 freaking years.
He had like
it used to drive me
1,600
nuts
yards.
that it didn't matter who he put back there, whether it was James White, Corey Dillon, Lawrence Maroney, Ben-Jarvis, Greene, Ellis. I can keep doing this.
Yeah. Guys that would just
It
show up
doesn't
and get
matter.
150 yards.
I
and
think
two
there's just
touchdowns.
this huge misnomer that they have to do something to running back.
Yeah.
And it's just people trying to find a hole where there's not one.
Yeah.
Right.
Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette are fine. Now, he will tell you, we've been doing this with ESPN Radio for years now. I cannot say enough times Leonard Fournette's the most overrated player I've ever seen in my life. I've said it literally since it was the day he was drafted.
Pretty much.
First of all, I don't take running backs in the first round. Second of all, I said I wouldn't take Leonard Fournette in the first round because he's not that damn good.
Yeah.
Can he be a rotational piece with Jones, Keyshawn Vaughn,
Gio Bernard.
Giovanni Bernard? I think Gio's going to have more of a role than people.
I do think so too. That's the name that keeps popping up. I think he's going to be a just flat out. I can see him in a James White role in Tampa.
You know what role he's going to fill? LaShawn McCoy.
I disagree with you. I think he fills the James White role because I'm telling you, Tom missed that last year.
Yeah.
He missed having that guy because Leonard Fournette has 10 thumbs. I don't give me how many catches because I have a stat for that. If you want to go down that road, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
He has a bunch of catches. He doesn't have a bunch of yards.
Yeah, he has a bunch of catches from here to the end of the table.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you can't catch that, you don't have cognitive skills.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what that means you are?
Dog.
Scary go dog!
I gotta
By
tell
the
you,
way, everybody that messaged me yesterday, I'm not as stupid as you think I am. I just didn't know it. They're all dogs. It's all dogs, okay? It's different kinds of dogs. Some have colonial ears or whatever the fuck word you said yesterday.
Conical.
Yeah, it's not a word. You made it up. You're just trying to get me to say it because it's a made-up fake-ass
Colonial.
word.
I wasn't here yesterday. I walked into the studio and that picture was up on the screen, and I said, why are we talking about hyenas? And he's like, wait a second. That's like a hyena. And then then it got in. I heard about the coyotes and the coyotes.
If you want to call it a coyote, put a Y at the end because you spell it coyote. It's a damn coyote.
And foxes and all that.
That's what we do on this show.
Dogs.
Things are pronounced the way they're spelled.
Yeah. I mean, best case scenario for Tampa Bay is obviously Super Bowl winners. I don't think that's anything not possible.
Nope.
I don't think they're going to go undefeated.
No.
I think that's just a silly task to ask a team to.
Of course
But now
it
the
is.
question is, what is the worst case scenario?
The worst case scenario.
I think we all know what it is.
Yeah, the worst case scenario is Tom Brady, Father Time is undefeated. And if Tom Brady, for some reason, ends up being more like, last half of 2020 Ben Roethlisberger than being Tom Brady, then sure. I see no signs that that's coming.
I write all of the descriptions.
Yeah.
So I can tell you before I throw this up there, I'm not just talking about Tom Brady. Metamucil stuff's been enough. Let's be really honest. Ndamukong Suh and Jason Pierre-Paul were both better than they are. Fact or fiction?
They played really,
They both
really,
played.
really
They had
good in the playoffs.
99 combined quarterback pressures last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is there a snowball's chance in hell they do that again? Sure. I'm going to go no. I think you've seen the best you can get from them. It's not just Tom. This team is pretty freaking old. There's a lot of guys on this team that are older than you think they are. And I could see a path. I mean, let's be really honest. This defense played together for quite some time. Todd Bowles is not the guru son of defense. They had a good run. It wasn't the greatest defense for the entire year. And
No.
I think there's a misnomer that it was. They hit quarterbacks, 100%.
Yeah.
And they figured out, you're the Bucs fan here, I would say 3/4 of the way through the year, they figured out. All we have to do is gang rush quarterbacks, and the fact that we're bad on the back end is not that big of a deal. Because we have two safeties that are very rangy.
Yeah. And then as the year went on and we got into week 15, I think was really the shift of, holy cow, this secondary actually gets it. Sean Murphy-Bunting started playing like an actual pro football player. Jamel Dean was a useful piece. They got a lot of youth in that secondary. And the fact that they went on that tear at the end of the season, I think it's going to have an effect on this year. they find, I'm a full narrative believer, and they figured it out.
We have seen defenses kind of make one of these playoff pushes where they kind of see that you win games, and then the next year they're not as good as they've been. And I could see that.
It's Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah.
Is what that
and I could see that. I think that there's still too much talent on the defense for them to take a complete dip, which I don't think you're saying at all. I just think you're saying they're not going to be all world. I just think there's too much talent for it to take a small dip, but there's still going to be a pretty good defense. It all depends, and it depends on Tom Brady. If Tom Brady plays like Peyton Manning did the second half of that season in Denver, when it looked like he couldn't even lift his arm above his shoulder because of his neck.
Right.
And we see that happening. I could see a path where they just become a good team, not a great team.
I just love that, first of all, Bill Collins, welcome into the show. That's a new name. I haven't seen that one before.
Hey, Bill.
He had a great point in the comments. He said that's when Vita Vea came back. You're exactly right.
Yep.
Brent Cottonolo on Facebook said something vaguely similar as well about Levante David. I'm not saying the defense is not talented. Here's what I'm saying. Now there is talent. What won them the Super Bowl? I don't think it's even debatable.
What won them the Super Bowl? Their defense.
Go further.
Getting after the quarterback.
There it is.
Yeah.
How do you beat that?
How do
you beat the fact that the back end of the secondary is not good? And I shouldn't have said back in the secondary because I like Winfield. I like, was it Whitehead?
Jordan Whitehead.
Jordan Whitehead, thank you. I had to hear Whitehead in my head for some reason.
Not that
Don't
one.
ask me why.
He was thinking
my
Danny
brain works in
He
weird
was thinking
ways.
Danny Whitehead, and it just kind of got thrown.
Danny Roadhead. I know it ended in blow gibbers. That's all I remember.
Blow gibbers.
I don't love the corners. So how do you beat that? Quick, intermediate passing game. Think about the teams in their division. Sam Darnold, what do you think he's going to do in Carolina?
Oh,
It's going to be West Coast on steroids.
Yeah.
A lot of RPO, a lot of misdirection. New Orleans Saints, what do you think they're going to do with Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston? I got news for you. They both have a role. I'll get to that before this is all said and done. The Atlanta Falcons. Think about the receivers in Atlanta. Calvin Ridley, what does he do? Short, shifty, quick burst. Get the ball in space. I'm better than you one-on-one.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts, matchup disaster. And yes, I think he's going to play a lot more wide receiver than he does tight end. I just say, and trust me, I'm nitpicking here, and I full well understand that. Bucs fans are going to say, "Oh, you're being too hard on the team." No, I'm trying to find a way that they're bad because that's the case.
idea.
And it's not in bad. All right, worst case scenario, you go. I want to say 10-7, but I think it's 11-6.
Yeah.
I've looked at the schedule and I've tried to find 7 losses. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I think worst case scenario, you go 11-6. You come up against a Washington team or somebody in the playoffs and get beat because they can get after your quarterback the same way you can get after theirs, and they just one way or another outscore you.
Yeah.
Brady's 44 years old, and by the end of the year, he looks that way.
Yeah.
That's the only way this goes.
Worst case scenario, they still make the playoffs, I think, no doubt. And that's
If
worst
I
case
had to
scenario.
bet my house on a team to make the playoffs, it would be it would be Tampa Bay above every other team in the NFL.
I would agree with that 100%.
Obviously, I'm on board as well.
Of course you are.
Look. They're one of the best teams in the league, and there's you have to twist yourself into contortions to find a way that this team is going to be bad. They're not. They're just not. They're too talented to be bad.
Yeah.
And
Even if Tom Brady, God forbid, his arm did fall off and he missed a lot of time in the season, I still don't hate this team.
I still think
Even with a backup quarterback, I would still feel like, that's still a 10-win team because of the talent that they have. As long as they can take care of the football. Because the defense is going to limit the opponents.
I think I would probably disagree with that just a small bit. I think that if Tom Brady's hurt early in the season and then Kyle Trask or whoever else is going to be playing quarterback, isn't it like Blaine Gabbert or somebody?
Yep, Blaine Gabbert.
Blaine Gabbert. I don't think that would lead. That could be a bad situation. I don't. Yeah. I did. If Blaine Gabbert's quarterbacking this team for more than 10 games, they're probably not going to make the playoffs. Would you still think they would?
I still believe they're a playoff team.
Wow, that's a.
They were
Gabbert?
They were damn near a playoff team.
What I was saying is, Tom Brady got hurt early in the season, and they had Kyle Trask or Blaine Gabbert for 10 games.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
First of all, you're comparing Blaine Gabbert and Kyle Trask to Jameis Winston, which makes my head hurt. One was the number 1 pick in the draft. The other two are borderline not worthy of being in the league.
I wasn't comparing the two of them.
No, I was talking about him.
Oh, him, yeah.
Yeah, no.
He's talking about me.
Just calm down there, Brady Love. You can gobble on Brady all you want to, but get off that Blaine Gabbert shit.
All right, say that does happen. How do they finish?
All right, what do we say?
Say Blaine Gabbert plays 10 games because of injury. How do they finish?
Or any other quarterback on the roster other than Brady plays more than 10 games.
It would
Blaine Gabbert or Kyle Trask?
Yeah. It would be Blaine Gabbert. Let me pull up the schedule. I didn't plan on going this deep divey because I thought it was. I thought it was pretty self-explanatory. Let's say it happened at New Orleans. You go into the bye week. They play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 games after the bye. At Washington and this is with Blaine Gabbert.
Yes.
At Washington, loss. Giants at home will give you a win. At Indianapolis, loss. At Atlanta, loss. Buffalo, loss. New Orleans, good Lord, I'll say you win it because it's at home. At Carolina, loss. At the Jets, I think you would lose. With Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Blaine freaking Gabbert at the end of the day. And that's not a fun play. The Gabbert thing with New York, Brian, we're both New York sports fans.
Yeah.
That's not a fun place for somebody with a noodle arm, which Blaine Gabbert has, to play.
Yeah.
It wouldn't go well. And Kyle Trask is worse.
Yeah.
So you're either losing to the Jets or you're losing to New Orleans. So you pick your poison on which one. Yeah, I mean, that would get ugly.
Yeah.
That's the path.
Yeah.
Something happens to Brady and you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And Kelvin Joyner, I got to give him credit in the comments. You don't have enough of a run game to stop that because they can drop 5 guys and just dare Blaine Gabbert and throw it into any tight window.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Run it down my throat with Ronald Jones? I don't think so. And underrated part of what I just said, there's a lot of pretty solid run defenses in that little stretch that I just said. So yeah, that's the path. Now that I've thought about it and gone down the path, it's something happens to Brady and you have to play any version of Blaine Gabbert.
I mean, just like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers franchise. I mean, the future, right now, everything is on Tom Brady.
Yeah,
everything is on him, and I think that's frankly how he wants it.
Yeah.